I had a needle put in my leg today, and I am having a great day. So let's unpack that. I have been trying to get my seroma taken care of for probably about a month now. And the seroma, if you don't know what it is, it's basically when you have surgery, sometimes what will happen is your skin will swell and you will end up with like a bubble of fluid or blood or whatever underneath your surgical site. And I've had that for 10 months, but it wasn't hurting me, it wasn't doing anything, and so I didn't worry about it. Well, I had hip replacement surgery, and when I have my panniculectomy, the incision goes from hip to hip. And so that seroma being there is a problem because it can't, basically, it's an infection risk and all this stuff. So I've been trying like crazy to get this seroma taken care of. So today I went. First of all, the company who comes to pick me up is one of my favorite companies who has been seeing me through probably almost a year and a half of doctor visits. So it has been incredible to just have like friends take you to the doctor. And I met a new driver today and we made fast friends. So I made another friend. It was very nice. And when I got there, the lady I had spoken to on the phone had also had a panniculectomy, and she was the person who came in to assist with the procedure. And so she was with me the whole time, and we talked about her surgery, and she talked about my surgery. She said she was so excited for me. And, so here we are, I'm in my hospital gown and everything. And three doctors come in, and all very, very handsome, very nice young doctors. And the lead doctor is saying, okay, so because that's been in there for so long, there is a chance that it's not blood. It could be like a rock. And if it's like a rock, we're not going to be able to take it out today because it has to be surgically removed. And I was like, okay, we're going to do everything we can. My plastic surgeon wants this removed, but if it has to be surgically removed, it stands to reason that while he's in there doing a big surgery, a little tiny surgery would be doable. But we're doing what we can. And so they have this. This is the part with the needles. The like needles, and they were going to put lidocaine in my leg to make sure that, or my hip, to make sure that it was pain-free. Wonderful. Um, and he puts the needle in, and he said, there's going to be a pinch and some burning. I said, okay, great. And I didn't feel anything. And he said, did you have surgery here? And I go, no. Dude, I had a hip surgery, like a hip replacement surgery, exactly where he's putting the needle. I was like, oh, wait, yeah, I did. He's like, yeah, you do have a big scar here. I was like, yeah, I did have a surgery. And he says sometimes it can be numbness from the surgery that you won't even feel it. I was like, no, no, I'm just gonna say you're really good at putting a needle in. And so they put the needle in, and they were talking about, okay, let's get the biggest needle possible to give us the best chance that if this isn't just blood, that it will come out. So it was like a 13 gauge needle. I don't know what that means, but that sounds like a lot of needle. So I didn't look. I was just like, as curious as I was like, let's just keep it kosher. And like immediately when they put it in, they all went, oh. So I guess I was a little bit like a geyser of old blood, I guess. And which is wonderful news because it wasn't a rock. So they were just sitting there just putting thing after thing. Like they had a needle like in my leg, and then they had like a little thing when they take it out, fill it up, take it out, take it. By the time that we were done, it was almost a soda can's worth of blood. It was 250 cc's, I want to say. I don't know if it's cc's, but he said it's like about a soda can. I was like, holy cow. And I said, can I ask you a silly question? And he was like, yeah. I was like, is it satisfying to do this? People who like to like pop sits and things like that. He's like, yes. And yours is really satisfying because he's just taking fluid out and watching this thing that was the size of my fist, truly. Like I could put my hand on top of it and not touch my leg. So it was big. And he said he's just watching it go down and down and down and down. Okay, so this is the part where we're so thankful for all of your prayers because one, it didn't hurt. Two, I had a wonderful time, nice people everywhere. But here's where like the miracle gets where it's like you're like, God, you're showing off. Okay, so I said, when I go home to heal, my stomach is going to cover this wound. Is it going to be an infection risk? He goes, actually, it'll probably be helpful. And I was like, why? He said, because the weight of your stomach will keep the area compressed. and it won't reintroduce fluid into the area, or it's less likely to. And so basically, my stomach is going to be for the next 7 days acting as like a compress to prevent my leg from creating another seroma. So my leg that got operated on and was fixed is being helped by my stomach, which is going to be get operated on and be fixed. So the perfect amount of time that I needed for compression on this wound, I'm going to have 8 days. We are doing our panniculectomy in 8 days, and my stomach will be pressing on that wound until then. And the wound, they gave me a Band-Aid, and they put the Band-Aid on there. So my stomach is laying on top of a Band-Aid. I have no notes. It was a perfect day. It was really just the best. And so I'm so grateful. And now I'm quarantining for the next 8 days to make sure that I am as healthy as possible. I have so much chicken. I have 23 pounds of chicken that I'm going to be making, that some of it'll be for the week, but we are going to have individual wrapped baked chicken or slow cooked chicken, and I'm just going to buy a whole bunch of broccoli and cauliflower. We will have that. I talked to one of my friends here at the hotel, and she's going to make me chicken and rice when I come home. And we don't know when that'll be because I could be there for 3 days, but you know this. And almost everything is on. Thank you, everybody. My registry is like the things that are left are just small things like recovery, like nuts to eat for recovery and protein and stuff like that. So thank you everybody for just taking such good care of me and the kindness that has been extended to me through all of these surgeries and all of this process. I truly just don't even know what to say. So thank you for that. Like I really have nothing to worry about. All I have to do is sit and wait until the day. And it's first thing in the morning, and I don't really have a lot of worry about if the schedule is going to change because I have two surgeons, and to get those two surgeons in the same place at the same time, they're like it's very unlikely to move. And so I have to be at the hospital at 6:30 in the morning. My surgery is at 8:30 in the morning, and by lunch, I will be without big tummy thing anymore. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. I am getting my little surgery nest taken care of, and I'll show you that like in detail later. But just thank you for everything. And I'm just gonna rest, relax, stay healthy, and be ready for next Wednesday. Oh my gosh. Can you believe this? Can maybe, like a little over a week? Oh my goodness. It's shocking. Shocking. Anyway, I'm tired. It's been a day, so I'm gonna go. But I love you so much, and thank you for your prayers. Thank you for everything. I know I already said it, but I mean it every time I say it. Just thank you for everything. And I will talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.